Hey everybody, walking and venting with Sea Dog here. Shout out to Coach Coop. I wanted to talk about Miami football today. Bye week for my Jackets. So, of course, they lost to North Carolina, and that makes them 0-2 in the past couple weeks, which is a far cry from what the Miami fans had expected. And if you want Sea Dog's unsolicited opinion about Miami football from the perspective of a Georgia Tech fan, I don't know. I mean, a lot of people have probably already told you this, Miami, but I don't know. A lot of you need to hear it again because you guys just keep doing this to yourselves every year, and it's bad. It's bad. Listen. Miami fans need to lower their expectations. That's the problem with Miami football. They have way too high expectations every single year, and you're setting yourselves up for failure. You're setting yourselves up for failure. Look at where your program is at. You've been in the toilet for 15 years or so. Look, Miami football is what it is today, okay? And you don't truly know the heights of what you can achieve with Miami football today. I know that you can achieve whatever it was a million years ago in 2001, okay? But it's not 2001 anymore. Like that, those days are over. It's like, trust me, I know. I'm a Georgia Tech fan. What happens back in the 90s is just as relevant as what happens back in 2001. And you guys keep going you guys keep hyping yourself up every single year. It's ridiculous. You need to lower your expectations. You have to realize where you're at as a program. You keep holding yourselves to these high standards, and what you're doing is you're holding the coaches and players up here too. They're not capable of that. Okay? They're not championship level teams. Not national championship. And not conference championship. Okay? Not in year 2, at least under Mario Cristobal. Now, you know, this is what's causing you to fail every year. And you freaking run every coach out of town every 3 years. You run a coach out of town. You should not have fired Benny Diaz. But look, somehow you actually managed to upgrade it with Mario Cristobal. Mario Cristobal was a great hire. But you people need to chill out on him. Okay? He's a good coach. He's a great coach. It's year 2. And guess what? You already know what he's capable of. He can win you the ACC, which is something Miami's never done. Never. So how can you expect... Why don't you get to that level? Why don't you get to the level of winning the conference first before you're worried about playoffs or something? I can't believe how many people, Miami fans, I've heard, about Miami should not be mentioned in the same universe as a playoff. They're not capable of that. And everyone pretends like they are. Look, what you should be focused on is, consistently winning 7, 8, 9 games, first of all. Okay? It's not going to happen if you keep firing your coach. And that's where you should be. And then, once you get a coach for more than 3 years, then you can talk about possibly getting to the playoffs and stuff. You should not be expecting this stuff out of Mario Cristobal in year 2. Look, you look around the country and see things like Lincoln Riley coming into USC, completely overhauling the roster, taking a 3-9 team to conference champions the next year, and you see, Deion Sanders come in, bring in hella recruits and do what he's doing there. Those are exceptions to the rule, man. It's not going to happen everywhere. Every place is different. Every place is different, and and you can't expect that. If it happens, then great, and enjoy it. But you can't expect like a year 1 turnaround. I know you got the talent, but you're causing your players and coaches to have these issues. Like you people, you're placing a tremendous amount of weight on the shoulders of like Tyler Van Dyke, for example. he shouldn't be mentioned in Heisman talks. What is wrong with you people? He should not be mentioned in freaking Heisman talks. He's a good quarterback, okay? And he hasn't been that bad. I mean, he's just not all world. He's not Heisman caliber. That's okay. That's okay. He's a good quarterback for you guys. Guess what? He would be good if he came back for you guys next year. Okay? God. I mean, no wonder he's so shook up. He's got the weight of the world on his shoulders. And as soon as he makes a freaking mistake, he gets absolutely torn apart by everybody. Bench Tyler Van Dyke. Tyler Van Dyke's not it. He's not a good quarterback. He's mid. Whatever it is. He's a good quarterback. Leave Tyler Van Dyke alone. I can't believe I'm coming to bat for Miami freaking players here. But you people, your expectations are so far removed from reality. Look at where you are this year. You're, halfway through the season, you're 4-2. You got an upset. You got upset, and you got beat by a better team. What's wrong with that? You handle business against, every other team. And I know freaking Georgia Tech feels like the end of the world. Get beat by Georgia Tech. Oh, no. And I know it's especially stings after, we lost to Bowling Green. But we're not a bad team. Haynes King, he's like Tyler Van Dyke. He played amazing in the first 4 weeks, just like TVD did. Putting up all these numbers, looked amazing. Looked like a Heisman quarterback. And he's fallen off the past 2 weeks. I still think he hung the moon. I mean, we're getting good quarterback play. You can't just turn on him. You can't just turn on him like that. It's like, okay, he's doing a good job. Hopefully he can stay consistent. But nobody at Georgia Tech is hollering to freaking bench Haynes King. Okay? Nobody's hollering to bench Haynes King. I can't tell you how many people I've heard bench TVD. That's how you get issues, when you freaking start benching all your quarterbacks. Then you throw in a freshman, he gets thrown to the wolves. He sucks. So then what are you going to do? Go back to the quarterback you bench? I guess it worked for Alabama. That's not a situation you want to be in. It's like, I don't know. People are too hard on TVD. I see a lot of parallels between him and Haynes King, and Haynes King hadn't had a good couple of games, just like TVD. But he's the best quarterback, just like TVD is the best quarterback. You cut him off, and what are you going to do next year? Could be worse. So it's like, I don't know. Relax on freaking TVD, okay? He's got too much pressure on him. He gets totally eviscerated every time he doesn't play good, and everybody wants to bench. Well, I still want Haynes King as my starter, and that's the difference between Miami and Georgia Tech. Just be happy, like, you're making improvements from last year. You're an improved team. It takes patience. You're not going to jump from 5-7 to a natty team like freaking TCU or something. I'm telling you, that's the outlier. You can't expect that. People want, their freaking minute ramen to be cooked in 58 seconds. Sometimes it doesn't work like that. Every school's different. That formula can't work all the time, and a lot of times it's not sustainable either. A lot of times it's not sustainable. So I would rather do things the way, for example, FSU is doing it. Okay? Mike Norvell comes in 3-9, and then he goes, 5-7 the next year or something? Like, he sucks for a couple years, but he slowly builds it up. Versus TCU, who comes in 5-7, then jumps to the natty. Now they're falling back down to earth. That kind of stuff is volatile and unsustainable. So I'd rather have it built the right way, the old school way. And you can still use the transfer portal and do everything else, but you gotta build it. It takes time. It just takes time. And Mario Cristobal, it's his second year. I cannot believe people are talking about firing him. Luckily for y'all, even though it's not what you want, sometimes you can't always get what you want. Sometimes you get what you need. And luckily for y'all, you're not firing Mario Cristobal. He's got a long contract. I would love for you to fire Mario Cristobal. I freaking hate Miami. So I would love for y'all to fire Mario Cristobal and, fire some loser that's going to continue this cycle of suck for Miami football. But probably won't happen. Mario Cristobal will get this thing turned around. And when you hire Mario Cristobal, you knew what you were hiring. You've seen what he's capable of. He can win the conference. He can win the conference, okay? Now, after that, I don't know. Mario Cristobal at Oregon, he would lose like a minimum of 1 or 2 games a year and then maybe win the conference, maybe lose it. But, he would get outcoached on a regular basis, 1 or 2 times a year, and the rest of the time skate by on talent. You can do that at Miami too. It'll take time to get his guys in there or whatever it is, but he's an elite recruiter. But you know what you brought in when you hired Mario Cristobal. He's gonna get you. He can get you an ACC title if you give him freaking time. If you don't run him out of town first. Beyond that, he's gonna have to do something that that he's never done before. And to be honest, it looks like he won't. He hasn't learned. Okay, he's still the same in that regard. It just looks worse because you're not winning titles right now. But it is what it is. I said that in the offseason. I look like a freaking genius talking about that. I told you, if you're tougher and outcoached, you can beat Mario Cristobal teams no matter how talented they are. I said that in the offseason. I was right. So, pat on the back to Sea-Dog for that one. But, you're placing too much expectations on Mario Cristobal and on Tyler Van Dyke, the fan. And you want it turned around right now. Well, not going to work like that. And I know that you don't want him anymore, or a lot of you don't want him anymore, but it's for the best, okay, that you freaking have him. It's for the best. And luckily for you, even if it's unbeknownst to you, he's got a big old contract that will keep him there for a few years. So you guys need to just lower your expectations. In conclusion, you think you're on the level of Clemson, FSU, whatever playoff contender. You're not on that level. I'll tell you what level you're on right here. You're on the level of Georgia Tech. You got to deal with it. One day you can get out from it. One day you can rise above that level. But right now, this is where you're at. Hey, we're on the come up too, though. So. But I know you don't want to hear it, but it's the harsh truth. It's the hard truth. So you guys just have too high expectations. So this has been Sea-Dog's TED Talk about Miami. Unsolicited opinion there of what I think of that football team. But by all means, continue. Don't take my advice and continue to suck. That'd be just fine by me. Anyway, go Jackets. I'll see you guys next time.